Morning, everyone. Looks like in Pikeville we got about 3.5 inches of snow last night, and I'm just now headed out to go to work. Looks like I'm the first person on the roads this morning, at least so far. For those not familiar, this is Hennett Road, just north of Pikeville, Princeton, and I'm headed to Goldsboro, so it's about a 20-minute ride normally. It'll probably take closer to 30 to 40 today just because of the road conditions. It's definitely a four-wheel drive kind of morning if you have to be out in the first place, which is probably not the best idea, but I know sometimes people have jobs to go to and stuff, so I'll just let the camera do the talking and we'll see how the road conditions look. And if I see anything of interest, I'll be sure to point it out. One safety tip I can add, though, when people do start coming out, be sure to brush the snow off your cars. I spent a good bit of time this morning cleaning mine off. It was, again, on average about 3.5 inches, but there was a drift on my front windshield. It was probably about 5 or 6 inches deep just from the wind. And when everybody gets out later today and tomorrow, you certainly don't want to blow it off other people's cars as they're going down the road. For anyone who's familiar with northern Wayne County, I just turned on the Pikeville-Princeton Road going towards Pikeville now. Interesting, right here where these trees are, you can still see the road where the snow didn't blow, and there's drifting on either side of it. There's been a lot more traffic on this road this morning too, it looks like. I will say that right now, I mean, I'm in four-wheel drive, but there's a good bit of grip still. I mean, it hasn't been. What's going to happen today is, even though it's going to still be very cold, you'll have a lot of solar radiation, which will melt some of the snow on the roads, at least in the areas where they don't get it cleared off. And so then that water will refreeze tonight when it really gets cold and turn in essence to concrete ice. So tonight it'll be probably a lot more slippery than what it is now. At least right now the snow offers a little bit of grip. I'm trying not to drive in the ruts here because it looks like it's just black ice in the ruts right now. I'm just trying to drive in between them a little bit. This is the bridge coming into Pikeville going over 795 if anyone's familiar with this area. Looking down there, 795 is completely snow covered and has not been plowed yet. I see there's a few other cars out this morning. Again, it's probably not the best idea, but I know some people have places to be, kind of like I do. I mean, I got a job that I have to be to serve the public, and so I'm having to be out, and I'm sure that others do as well. But aside from having to go to work, I mean, I don't see any reason to be awake on a Saturday morning this early, even when it's not snowing. They're already plowing the parking lot at the BB&T in Pikeville. And it looks like DOT has hit this road. This is Highway 117 in Pikeville, or Goldsboro Street. It'll turn into 117 at the city limits. I'm now going south toward Goldsboro. It's definitely been plowed at least once in either direction. I know the DOT plan is typically to hit these main roads, such as the highways and the bypasses and all those things. They've got their work cut out for them today. There's a lot of snow even after they plowed the first time. I'm just a little more nervous on this though, because there's a little bit less snow to grip onto the tires, and it looks like it's a little bit more of an ice sheet underneath it. I know driving up this way, coming home from work last night, when it was sleeting so bad, there was a pretty good coating of ice starting to form on the road. So underneath the snow, there's probably ice. So we just have to be careful with that. A lot of times when it's 22 degrees right now, this stuff fuses to the road and it's just hard to get off. just seeing some of this darker looking asphalt here makes me just a little more nervous, because more than likely that's just nothing but ice. So instead of driving in the tire grooves, I'm trying to kind of drive in the more of the snowy part just to help have more grip. I just have a feeling that these roads are going to be a sheet of glass tonight, though, with some of the melting that's going to happen today, and then with refreezing. It's a lot harder to drive on that than it is on the snow sometimes. I do know that the camera can sometimes look like I'm going fast, but I'm really only doing no more than about 20 miles an hour. But the camera just makes it look faster than it is. Again, this is normally a 20-minute drive or less ride to work, and I've already been gone about 20 minutes, and I'm only just now getting to Belfast. So definitely have to take it easy on it. So definitely from what I'm seeing, all the secondary roads and stuff have not been touched yet, and it might be a little while before they can get there, so just bear with the DOT crowd. They've already made a few passes here on 117, and looks like they've got a few more they'll probably make before this is over, and then they'll start hitting these secondary roads. And that's another good reason also to just try to stay home and have a snow day today. Give these guys a chance to get here and plow the roads, and just kind of stay off the road so they can run the plows up and down without risking hitting your car or running over you or anybody else. So I'm finally going through Belfast, just past the Belfast Fire Department. Well, officially in Goldsboro city limits and on William Street now. And it does not appear that this road has been plowed yet. And of course, this is still Highway 117, but it's William Street, so it's one of the main roads. Just goes to show the DOT's got a good little bit of work ahead of them, so they hadn't even got to this one quite yet. I'm sure they'll get a lot done today, though, while the sun's up, and solar radiation helps to loosen some of the ice against the black asphalt. Not that I recommend it, but I know the middle of the road can be a good place to get an accurate snow measurement because it's usually a flat, kind of open area. And just looking at the depth of the tire grooves, I'd say they probably had at least 2, maybe 3 inches here in Goldsboro itself, where it hasn't been plowed yet. I do know that last night they had a much longer period of sleet than I had back home in Pikeville, so it will make sense to have maybe an inch or maybe an inch and a half less than what I got up there. Still a good looking snow, and honestly it looks like probably the biggest snow we've had in a few years. Even that good cold January from 2018, we had a small snow. We got about an inch out of it. This one right here is probably the biggest we've had in a while. This one's actually snow cream worthy, it looks like. I do remember from being outside last night that it was a very dry, powdery snow. I don't know how that affects snow cream. It's a very dry, powdery snow. It'll moisten up some today, though, once the sun hits it, and we should get up into maybe the mid-30s today for a high. Areas that have snowpack, maybe the low 30s, which I guess everywhere has a snowpack today, but the snow will help it keep it from getting so hot. And one thing to keep an eye on tonight is with this fresh snowpack, radiational cooling takes over, and it'll probably get well down into the maybe the low to mid-teens. Wouldn't surprise me. And it may do it, and so that'll be a very cold Sunday morning. Again, tomorrow morning is probably not a good idea to be on the roads. I know it's probably the second Sunday in a row some may have had to have church canceled, but the roads are a lot worse tomorrow morning than they were last Sunday morning, the way it's going to shape up, it looks like. Now this is William Street going under the Highway 70 bypass, turning onto the on-ramp to the 70 bypass. Lots of snow and ice on this. It has not been plowed yet. And I'll be taking the service road. Just looking over at Highway 70, it does not look like it's been plowed yet, but there's been quite a bit of vehicle traffic, it looks like. I see a lot of tire grooves over there. I don't see the mounds on the side of the road that would indicate a plow's gone by yet, though. It's hard to tell, though. It could have been. If it was plowed, it was probably plowed earlier in the event, and there's been new snowfall on it since then. So anyway, I'm getting closer to the end of having to end the videos. I'm almost to work. I just hope everybody has an enjoyable day, enjoy the snow. I hope everybody got as much as was expected. If you have to be out for some reason, drive safe. If not, just try to stay home and enjoy the day off. Again, I hope everything worked out like you thought it would, and be sure to leave some feedback if you think it didn't, and that way maybe I can do better next time. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and thank you all for watching, and hope everyone has a good day and a good rest of the weekend. And I'll probably do another live on the way home tonight to see how things look then.